Welcome back to Bespoke Addict. I've got another beautiful pair that are going on eBay UK at no reserve. These are Wildsmith Bespoke, and they're just beautiful, beautiful things. There's a lot of sort of texture and a lot of aging to these shoes, but they are in extremely sound condition. They have been resold, rehealed at least once, but it's a decent job, and there's a lot of life left in that. They're around about a UK 9.5. That's the size I wear, and I have worn these a few times, and I've really enjoyed them. The lining skins, very nice. They've just been well looked after, and I've certainly looked after them, but they were looked after before they got to me. And beautiful things. Let's just undo the lace. I want to show you something. Edward Green made a lot of Wildsmiths, or the vast majority of Wildsmiths, ready to wear. Wildsmith are and were traditionally a bespoke maker, but later on they got involved with some ultra high-end ready to wear, and that was largely made by Edward Green. And the majority of Wildsmith you see are made by Edward Green, which I thought these were. I was quite happy with that. The quality of Edward Green is so extraordinarily high, but it doesn't have any of the Edward Green markings on the inside. When I got them, Edward Green always put markings on the inside of the inner lining on the outer side. I think it's the outside, it doesn't matter. But what I wanted to show you, I noticed on sort of closer inspection, these tiny little holes here, just sort of hidden by the laces. And each lace point got a tiny little, there it is, look, just under my nail, just on the very edge, a little stitch hole. There's another one just there next to the now English bespoke makers, before they last the shoe, before it's got the sole on it and the welting, when it's all stitched together, what they do, they generally punch the lace holes, and then they stitch this area together with like a crisscross stitch. They really stitch that together, and that's what those little tiny holes are here. And it's only bespoke shoes have those. Ready to wear don't. Edward Green shoes certainly don't. They don't do that. But the bespoke makers, English bespoke, do. And basically it just keeps this area together as the shoe's being lasted and sort of pulled around the last. Otherwise it would open up. Some makers, I think continental makers, put the laces in, but English stitch them together. It's only if they're being done by hand, and in the full bespoke tradition. There's the little hole again, look. So that's an absolute confirmation these were bespoke made, and it would also explain why they've got no markings on the inside. Utterly glorious, beautiful patina, a lot of wear left in them. These are aged, but they're not ravaged. There is a difference. The skins are beautiful, very, very soft, and I've enjoyed wearing these hugely, because if I were to scratch them or chip them, I wouldn't be concerned. It would sort of add to the beauty of these things. Obviously, when you've got a pair that are in museum condition, you're sort of tiptoeing about, daring to not touch them on the pavement, and worrying about driving in them. But these things, when they've not got the original soles, so another sole, it wouldn't make any difference. 2 soles, 3 soles. Once it's no longer original, the replacement sole's not an issue, and a few more knocks and bumps really wouldn't sort of take away from what these shoes are. An absolutely sensational pair of English bespoke, in very worn. When I say worn, I don't mean worn out, used. They've been enjoyed, but they've been extremely well cared for, nourished. They've always had trees in them. They've been nourished. Wildsmith were known for making, military sort of shoes, cavalry officer shoes, that type of thing. And they're the evening dress shoes that you're seen in military war. Who knows who these were made for? But yes, Wildsmith are no longer, I'm afraid, but they were such a beautiful maker. And with a heavy heart, I am selling these. I like them an awful lot. I adore the patina. I've enjoyed wearing them, but I've got simply so many similar pairs that just they just don't get worn like they should. And I don't know how many pairs I've got similar to this, but probably by different makers between 30 and 50 pairs, almost identical styling by different makers. And I'm struggling to find reasons to keep certain pairs, and I'm struggling to store them. I'm struggling to look after the numbers. So I am selling pairs like this that I really, really love. I've really enjoyed wearing, and I will miss a little bit. I'm not going to miss them because I'm going to be left with no shoes to wear. That's definitely not the case, but I'll miss them because they are so lovely and I have enjoyed them. I'll just have to enjoy something else, basically the same. Some are in much better condition. I've got a few that are a bit tattier, and I quite like the tatty ones, especially if I'm going out in the rain. But eBay UK at no reserve.